Have you ever wondered why some people stop working and yet their money keeps growing? How can someone without a job, without a salary, without the rush of day to day, get richer and richer year after year? It seems like an enigma. It seems magic. But it's not magic. It's math. An invisible math that almost no one sees until you start to live it in your skin. Today, I'm going to show you how this formula works and how it can work for you too. But first of all, enjoy this video and let's get started. When people imagine retirement, the scene is usually scary. You stop working and suddenly your savings become the only thing that keeps you alive. Every time you spend, it feels like the balance is leaking, like water dripping from a bucket. And you start to wonder, how long until this bucket dries?
But what almost nobody knows is that for millions of retirees, the bucket does not dry. In fact, it fills itself. Their wealth grows faster in retirement than when they were working. And that's where the mystery begins. The reason this happens is not a single trick. It's a set of forces working together. Less expenses, guaranteed income, more cautious behavior, and the unrelenting power of something I will reveal later because it is too strong to be ignored. When you understand these forces, you realize something counterintuitive. The day you retire may be the day you start to get richer than ever.
Let's start with the famous 4% rule. It says that if you withdraw 4% of your savings per year, adjusting for inflation, the money should last at least 30 years. This has been tested even during brutal periods in history, including the Great Depression. It's a conservative rule. But here's the surprise. Most retirees don't even spend 4%. They withdraw less, much less. And that's where the hidden math begins to reveal itself. Why do they spend less? Because reality is very different from fantasy. Before retirement, people imagine endless trips, cruises, expensive restaurants, entertainment, shopping. But what happens afterward is something else. In the early years, yes, there's more travel. But over time, the allure of airports fades. Hours on a plane are tiring. Packing and unpacking becomes a chore. And suddenly, the comforts of home become worth more than any five-star hotel. Expenses drop, and drop significantly. The same goes for leisure. At first, more dinners, shows, events, but later, evenings at home with the family become more enjoyable than any spectacle. It's not because they need to save money, it's because it makes sense. Life becomes simpler, and so do expenses.
Transportation costs decrease, with no daily commutes, no gas, no stress. Many couples now own just one car, and that means thousands of dollars saved each year. Yes, healthcare costs may increase, but they rarely offset the decline in other areas. Overall, spending plummets, and consistently. Now, add to that fixed income, like retirement or social benefits. Even if the amount isn't huge, it arrives every month, like clockwork. And over time, this income covers almost everything. Imagine a couple spending the equivalent of $60,000 a year. If their retirement income covers $45,000, they only need to withdraw $15,000 from their savings. In other words, almost nothing. The rest of the money remains invested, growing. And if this investment yields, on average, 7% per year, the growth exceeds what they withdraw. Result? Even without working, their assets grow. Think about it. You retire with $1 million. You plan to spend $40,000 a year, but you end up spending $20,000. The other $980,000 remains invested. At 7% per year, that's almost $70,000 in profit. Even taking out $20,000, you're still $50,000 ahead. After 1 year of retirement, you're richer than when you stopped working. Repeat this for 10 years, and your assets could even double.
This is the consumption gap effect, the difference between what people could spend and what they actually spend. Fear, caution, habit, and even the pleasure of seeing their money grow make them spend less, and this difference becomes fuel for growth. Real estate also helps. Many retirees already have their homes paid off, and their value rises silently year after year. Without effort, their assets grow. Taxes also weigh less. Without a salary, income tax decreases. Withdrawals can be planned more intelligently, and this makes money go further. And there's another invisible factor: flexibility. People naturally adjust their spending according to the market. If there's a crisis, they hold back. When things improve, they start spending again. This adaptability makes their money last much longer. Now think about the end result. Many people enter retirement afraid of running out of money, but they end up with more than they had. The real threat isn't overspending, it's underspending. It's dying with a huge fortune that they never used.
A couple who retires with $1 million and spends little can end up with $2 million after 20 years. They live well but never tap the real potential of what they've accumulated. Money grows on its own. That's why retirement isn't the end of prosperity. It can be the beginning of your wealthiest phase. You stop working for money, but money keeps working for you, silently, day after day. And you know what many people do today to further accelerate this growth? They build a second income online, at home, at their own pace. With a few hours a week, they create YouTube channels without showing up and multiplying their earnings. If you want to learn how to do this too, join the free Telegram group at the link below. And remember, retirement doesn't have to be the end of growth. It can be the beginning of your financial freedom.